guys, welcome to the third part of my advanced inventory tutorial. In this one we're going to be learning how to actually display the inventory on screen. So we're going to be going through our list and finding each element within that list and displaying it on screen as a button, and each button will have its own name and whatnot, and when you click on it you can do a separate function depending on which button it is. But for right now we're just going to get the basic setup on how to get the button displayed. So we're going to go in here and we're going to be working in our OnGUI function, and we're going to be creating a for loop. So we're going to be creating a variable x equals 0, and if x is less than, and then we're going to be referencing our main inventory. So pretty much this is going to be looping through our main inventory and finding every item in here, and it'll be updating accordingly if an item is removed or added, so it'll be able to fix itself in real time. And for this we're going to be using .count. So with arrays we use .length to find all the items in the array, but for a list we use .count. And then we'll do x++. Now in here we are going to be creating our actual button. So if, and we're going to be creating a GUI button, and this is going to be a rectangle, and then we want to do screen.width divided by 2. And if you guys are kind of new to this, this is pretty much just these first two are where you want it positioned on the screen. And let's see, divided by 2. So pretty much it's centering this button in the very center of our screen, no matter what the length or width of the window is, or the screen is. And for this one we're going to be adding something a little bit different. We're going to be doing plus, and we'll do 20 times x. I might actually adjust that, but for now we're just going to leave it as that until we start testing. And then what we want to enter in here is do 100 by 20. I'm still not sure if I have to swap those around or not. I guess we'll find out in a little bit. And also, let's see here, also add in some test text right now. We'll be adding something else to this in a little bit if we don't get any errors. And in here I already went and removed those other scripts, so I have to retype them out, but we're just going to be doing the debug.log again real quick. Main inventory, and then here we can actually plug in x, and then we can do dot, we'll just do dot description for now. We're just going to be testing each button out to make sure they work differently, or so we can tell if a bunch are displayed on screen that when we click on them they do something different. So they'll each do a different description depending on which one I click on. So right now this is just a basic setup. Save that real quick. Let's see, I want to make sure that I don't have any errors, and it doesn't look like I have any. So we'll go and test this in game real quick, and we have two buttons right here. And we can see I'll pop up the console real quick. I'll just go and clear this again. If we click on the first one, it says a sword. If we click on the second one, it says an axe. So each of these are working properly how we want them, because each one is displaying a different debug.log in the console depending on which one I click on. So pretty much how this works is x will start at 0, and it'll check for, since it's on 0, it'll check for the first item in the in the list, and it'll go through, it'll create a button for it, and pretty much all this code gets added to that instance of that button. And when we click on it, it'll be referencing X, so whatever X was at that time. So since X was at 0 for the first one, this will be plugged in for 0 for the description, and when it does plus plus, it'll go to 1, and this will change to 1 for the next object. And that's how they pop up different descriptions for each item. And now in here we can actually, I believe I can just do plus. Hopefully I don't get any errors in inventory, and we're going to be using X again, since that'll display each one in the list, and we'll use .name because we want each of our buttons to have their own name, and you have to use X, so when it goes through it puts each one in there and it grabs each name. So we'll just save that real quick, go back in here, and you can see our first one is labeled sword and our second one is axe, and when we click on them they still do the same things. So now we're able to display each button on the screen for each of our items that are in the actual inventory itself, and we're able to use them. So that's our basic setup for how to actually display our GUI on screen. In the next one I'm going to possibly be showing you guys how to set up when we hover over a button, it'll display some of the stats for our item, and we'll be messing around with a lot more different stuff like that. We're also going to be creating a simple constructor, and we're going to be creating another equipment inventory, so we can actually transfer the variables if we want to transfer an item. Let's say we clicked on this item and we want to send it over to our equipment, and we want to equip a specific item. So if we're going to have to create probably another enum and create something for what type of armor it is, or what type of item armor it is. So if it's a ring, if it's a pair of pants or a helmet, we want to send it to the correct slot. So there's a couple more things we have to cover in this. I'm going to be going a lot more in depth, and yeah, we'll just talk a little bit more about that stuff in the future, but this is a basic way of displaying the actual items and being able to click on them.